Hi, I'm V, and this is my channel, Persistent Consistent Hustle. It is about different side hustles, moving toward entrepreneurship, mixed in with tutorials, and hopefully a little motivation and inspiration included in it too. A little bit about myself before we get into it. Um, when I was younger, as a teenager, I loved to make cakes, and so I started doing that. It turned out to be a lucrative business for me, a side hustle at home. I was living in an apartment that was a 5 floor walk up. Yes, I said 5 floor walk up. And I had a neighbor downstairs who lived on the first floor who was very active in her church. And she loved the cakes that I make. So what she did was she had her church members come to my house and order a cake. And it was funny because these strange people would knock on my door and said, Missy Lane said, come up here and get a cake. And I would. And I would make cakes for all of the activities for the church. Also, previous to that, I had clients that I had regularly. Their child's birthday was whatever day, and every year they would come to me and get cakes. Also, shout out to Missy Lane. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. And then I ended up moving to another state. So me working in living in another state and working so many days in a row and everything else, I really didn't do the cake business, as I had liked to, because it was just too much. Because I was one that if I made your cake and I didn't like it, it would go in the garbage can if I didn't like the way it looked. And I would stay up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it took for me to perfect this. So it became a lot, and I kind of put it, away for a while. So, a few years ago, I kept seeing this Cricut, Cricut, Cricut. I was like, what is this? So finally, about a year and a half or so, or 2 years, I bought one during a Black Friday holiday. And I have to say to you, it sat in a box for like 6 months because I just didn't have the time to open it up and figure it out. But once I did, it's become a major love in my life. And like I said, I made cakes as a teenager. I always loved to do crafts and um, crochet and all that, different kind of things. So that is my number one love. So anyway, um, I've learned to do different things with the Cricut, and I have been, yes, selling, certain things, and I wanted to do a YouTube in which I could help people with tutorials because I love YouTube for tutorials. I can't tell you how many times it has saved my life, okay, over a whole lot of things that I'm sure a lot of you can attest to that. So I really just wanted to give you an introduction to my channel, but I think what I'm going to do is I am going to start with a tutorial, a quick one for everyone, and I hope you like it. I hope it helps at least someone, and please do come back to my channel. I need you to like and subscribe to the channel so we can keep this going. And it's going to be, really informative, but laid back. I'm not trying to make this like we're in a classroom and all of that kind of stuff. This is going to be really raw and laid back. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, so if you notice on my wall, I have these towels. I'm sorry, let me move a little bit out of the way. So I have been doing these towels lately, and as you can see, yes, I did make my shirt, obviously. Um, Persistent, consistent hustle, and I made towels. It's supposed to be like sweat towels for the summertime. I know it's not hot everywhere, but all the time. But anyway, we have it in white. I have it in a blue version. I also did a towel. I just recently did some shirts last night for a friend of mine who has a group home. And so I'm going to throw in a couple of towels for her because I had the extra pieces left over. And this we'll talk about a little bit later. Took a little bit more time, but we'll talk about that later. Also, I don't know if you can really see. I guess I need to use the camera. I have a towel here that I did for another person whom I made lunch bag, and lunch bags will come as another tutorial. probably in the next one. Okay. All right. So this is what I did. Really simple. I cut out my design, and I'm sorry, from the Cricut, of course. And as you see, this one says a nurse. I cut out my designs. This I'm using today was just some extra pieces that I had left over. Let's say you need a quick gift or whatever. It's something different. The towels, you can buy expensive towels if you want to, or you can get these towels from the Dollar Tree, or you can go to Walmart and get the towels. These are decorative. Like I said, you could use them for the gym if, you know, sweating or whatever it is, or you're having some kind of a party or whatever it is, or your group goes jogging regularly and you want to have some towels or something for school activity. Then I would say, you know, go cheaper, do Dollar Tree, or like I said, what did I say? Dollar Tree. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. Or Walmart. That's what I was trying to say. They have cheaper towels too. You can do them very easy, and always to keep your extra scraps when you're using your Cricut, because you never know what you can use them for and come up with. Okay, so over here you see I have my heat press, and let me turn it on. And I should have had it on all this time, right, to heat up. So while my heat press is heating up, what I normally do is, which I've learned to, well, first of all, let me back up. By the hard way, I learned that you should take a lint roller and roll the lint off of your towels first. I won't tell you how many times that I have done towels and I did not use a lint brush because I didn't know any better, and it took 10 or more applications for this vinyl or whichever material I was using to adhere to the towel, because the lint kept catching to the letters or the design. So finally, I just happened to see something, again, probably on YouTube, that showed where you're supposed to use, where you should use a lint brush. And I won't tell you how much that saved me in application time, okay, using a lint brush. So please use a lint brush to get the little pieces off. It's a lifesaver. And you might see me, I'm sorry, my shirt probably is full of lint, because as you see, this is a white towel and a lot of it is on me. But again, I said this video was going to be raw, right? Okay, so I fold my towel in half. That gives me a midpoint in the towel in which my design should go, okay? Some things I measure, some things I don't. Towels, I don't. I just fold it in half. And what you want to do anyway is you want to press it a little bit, because you don't want to put your design on here with wrinkles in it, because the wrinkles will stay in the design, and you don't want that. So I just folded it in half. Either way, half down. I think I did this, for some reason I always do this way, but either way, it doesn't matter. Just fold it in half and then put it on your, because you could always turn it around, then put it on your heat press. Sorry, let me do it this way, and I do it anyway. You want to lay it this way if you want to, or lay it in half. It doesn't, to me it doesn't matter anyway. So while this is heating up, I just lay it down for a few minutes just to get that line. And don't worry, once you press your design on it, the line will not be there on it. It eventually it fades out, so don't worry about that. Then I lay it whichever way I want to put my design. I think this one went across, this one went down. This, I think we are going to, I'll just lay it across, just for demonstration reasons. We will. So we line it up evenly on our heat press, okay? Now my heat press is still going, and like I said, I should have did this before, but that's okay. We're okay. All right, so I lay my design on the towel, and I'm going to try to get you up just a little closer But before that, you just have to make sure that you're lined up evenly and in the center. So usually what I do is I fold my design just a little bit at the top. You make it even. You kind of pinch it where it's supposed to be. Just pinch it a bit at the top just to get that center line so you know where that is. Line that center line up with your center line on your towel. Then that way you know that it is centered. Okay. So, oh, let me back up and say this. I wrote down every place. I won't say every place. A few sites have their different temperature ranges. So I just found one that worked. Uh-oh, my towel's coming down. Sorry. And I tell you, raw raw videos. Okay. So you just figure out which one works for you. My temperature on my heat press that I found that works for vinyl is it depends on what it is. So let me back up and say this. I should change this. For the foil, it was $2.95 for 30 seconds, and for the vinyl, it was three something. I have to research that again because I keep playing with it, for like 16 seconds. So towels are really giving. Stuff adheres really quick. That's another thing. So it's something that you have to play with. But what I'm going to do is, because I had it already set for $2.95, because actually the last towel I did, which was last night, was with the foil. And I'm going to see how this foil setting works. Setting works on this, because this is a vinyl that I'm using right now, the glitter vinyl, and we'll see how that works. Okay. Now, don't forget to have your Teflon sheet always, right? To cover up your design, get your Teflon sheet and cover it up. Also, be very careful. You know, these are extremely hot. So you want to be careful moving your hands around in there and make sure, you know, everything is, all of your body parts away from there. Okay, so now the heat press is ready at $2.95 for 30 seconds. We're going to press it down. Okay, it takes a lot of, arm strength, okay, to do that. We let our heat press go. We don't touch anything. We just let it do what it does. And you just have to, like I said, you just have to keep playing with different things and different designs and, find that. Okay, we're almost ready. And let's say 3, 2, 1 second, and listen for the sound. You want elbow grease to lift it up. Get rid of our Teflon sheet. And now what I do is okay, so you can see it. Okay, so we have, you can see the clear plastic. So let's see if it adhered. So you pull it gently. Now the heart is looking good. I'm feeling a little resistance on the letters, but the heart seems to be okay. Now you see how the fibers are pulling? This is the reason why we make sure that we use the lint brush, because if I had not, trust me, it wouldn't be going this quick at all, because I would just be pulling the letters up. The fibers would keep the letters. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay. So, we have our design. And you see how that looks? Looks really nice, right? Okay. So what I usually do for everything, most things that I make, let me back that up, is I put it back on, and just to make sure that everything is sticking properly, I put my Teflon sheet on and I hold it down for a few seconds. That's about it. Okay, lift it up, and it's done. Okay, so we have our towel ready. Okay, I hoped everyone enjoyed this tutorial about the towels, and I'm sure later on down the line we'll explore doing more towels. Again, this is V from Persistent Consistent Hustle. Thank you so much for joining me. I hoped that I was able to help someone out there with their project or something they're trying to do, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you again.